Welcome back, beautiful people. This is another video. This is more of a psychological videos for all my traders out there. In this video, we're going to be discussing FOMO, and we're going to deep dive and try to fix FOMO the best way we can. So now, talking about FOMO, as you guys can see on screen, it's FOMO is fear of missing out, as we all know this. But the explanation here is the F stands for fear. Now, the thing is, if you have the fear of missing out, you're coming from a place of fear, which is emotional. And now, how do we fix that? Is by understanding what's going on and observing and being aware of ourselves. Because the thing is, we go through emotions, we feel emotions, and we navigate through them by understanding them and as well as being aware. The thing is, what you have to understand in life in general, when a feeling is about to happen to you or something you do feel arises, we will have symptoms. And the thing is when we get sick, before we do get sick, we will get likely, uh, our throat is going to start hurting. We're going to have a temperature. So these are symptoms. So a lot of symptoms that do occur before FOMO is we might have sweaty palms. We might start to be clicking so much with the mouse. And that's when you know your mind has went from a logical state to a emotional state. And in trading, as we know, it's about following protocol. It's not about following how we feel. It's about following our protocol and our model and our rules, because those are the framework that is used to protect us when our emotions kick in. Now, that's the very important aspect here. But the goal here is, as well, is the goal is not to stop feeling FOMO. The goal is to learning and how to manage it, understand it, and then is stop letting it make decisions for you, which is the important part. But the very important part is understanding yourself, understanding the symptoms and signs, and being observant of yourself. So, moving forward, your brain could lose money you never had. And that's the reality of this game. When we get into trading, we all see dollar signs. And that is a place of emotions because that's the thing we're lacking. And now, when there is an opportunity that you haven't been involved with, or your goals don't align, you will feel like you've lost money even though you haven't had the participation in it. And that, what the exact thing that happens is, let's just say price moves for 40 points or 100 points. And in your mind, you're thinking, oh my God, if I entered, I would have made X amount or this dollar sign. And the psychology is thinking, oh my God, I missed something. I need to be in this. And that's when you know you're going from a spot of logics to emotional, because now you're thinking, oh, if I entered, these questions, if I've done this, I would have got that. So that is the thing to look out for. FOMO begins here before you even touch the mouse. And that's very true. It's you're reacting to things on a screen without having the protocol in front of you. And that is the thing, is because you're chasing something and now the fear is coming in to make you chase of losing the thing you never had. So it's a run before even the run has happened, but you're trying to run towards somewhere where you shouldn't even have been. So FOMO is really only about the trade. See, and this is where it hits a little bit deeper. It's what are you actually afraid of missing out on? Is it the money? So maybe a payout, a winning day, passing an eval, validation. You need to tell yourself, hey, I've lost a few trades. I need to prove to myself I can do this. Maybe this is for the people you've told, hey, I'm a day trader. Maybe this is for the social media. Maybe this is for your partner who you've been telling, oh, I'm going to make it. And um, you're trying to get that validation, that praise, recovery. Again, sometimes we do have losing days. And the quickest way to recover is taking a trade unexpectedly because price is running and trying to recover that count back up, which wasn't even part of your original plan. And identity is just what does missing this say about me? Identity is more of, am I a winner or am I kind of a loser in the eyes of it? But more touching deep upon that with identity, what it means is, am I coming from a place of scarcity or am I coming from a place of abundance? And that is the two different ways of thinking, right? The charge creates a situation. Your meaning creates the emotional reaction. And what that means is, for example, when price pumps, you automatically go in, right? You automatically enter. And a good example is this for all of you guys, because I know a lot of you guys are teenagers. When there was Halloween, and this is a perfect example, we used to go out and trick or treat. Some houses would leave buckets of candies outside. And what would happen is when we approach the house and it says, please take one, we would empty the whole bin and run away. And that is because we have the fear of not being able to participate and you take all the candy because you want everything today on Halloween, because you don't have the mindset to think, hey, I can buy candy every other day too. It's just today's the day. As well as sometimes what could happen in life is you might be around friends that might say, hey, we have to go on this trip. This is going to be an amazing trip, this and that. And unfortunately, you don't have the time or you don't have the means, and they give you those false emotions of feeling that you're going to be missing out on something so great, which is not even true. It's not likely that true. It's just vacations can come next year, the year after. You're not really missing out on anything. So it's the same concept. You feel like you're missing on something, but you're really thinking from a place of scarcity because you don't feel like you can do this again. You don't feel like tomorrow is going to be another Tuesday. There's going to be so many more Tuesdays to come. There's going to be so many Wednesdays to come. So the chain, and this is how it is in order. So we look at the chart, price goes, moves, right? And it says, there it goes. The story, I'm missing out. So the fear kicks in. So the emotion, see, anxiety, regret. And then number 4 is the urgency. Oh my God, I got to get in. Number 5, you chase. Late execution, the move has happened. This wasn't planned. And number 6 is regret. And then I wish I didn't do it. This kind of chain happens in many factors in life. And why I explain this in this sense is because when I was overweight, I used to be very good during the day. I was busy working this and that and whatever. And then when it got to about 10 p.m., the devil would speak to me and say, go to the cupboard, go to the freezer. And what I would do is I would open up the freezer, look at the food, and then the story was, hey, I haven't had this. I'm missing out on this amazing food. The emotion was, oh my God, I need this. This is gonna make me feel great, right? This is a hit of dopamine. And then I'm looking at the time and it's 10 p.m. and it's like, oh my God, it's so late. But you know what? Again, like a late execution, I eat it, then regret it the day after, waking up and feeling disgusting. And this is how it happens. But the thing is, you got to know where the chain is going before to stop the chain, right? We know how the order works. So how do we cut this off? And this is the thing. We're going to talk about the four drivers that make FOMO convincing. So naturally, in our minds, we have something called loss evasion. And loss evasion is missing potential profits, right? Potential. You're not even in this potential. It could feel like losing something you already that already belonged to you. So, for example, if you've noticed a lot of the times with subscription based models, in like, let's just say you get a free subscription to Apple Music, I believe. I don't know. I don't really indulge in those things. But when you have something for free, loss evasion plays into effect because you feel like you're losing something that you didn't even have already. Right. So that's one pillar. The second pillar is scarcity. So scarcity is believing that this one big move will only occur on today, the same date you've seen it. You don't believe that this will happen another time. It's like the example of going on a vacation. Well, this year didn't happen. It's totally fine. You can go the year after. If not then, the year following. We're going to have so many more years ahead of you. And that's when you are really thinking that that's it. And you don't think about, you're thinking about the sprint, but not the marathon. Social comparison, someone else posted a winner. Your chart did not change, but your emotional state did. And what that means is because you're comparing, contrasting yourself to other people, and you're seeing somebody else posting something on social media, and you didn't catch that move, so you feel less. And that hits a bit of insecurity, which is the next one ego, identity. Being right about direction can make you feel entitled to participate. Sort of like, oh, I know we're going to go to the top. It's going to be bullish. But guess what? There was no entry trigger. And then from there, you just enter because you want to be right. And you had that biases coming into the day. And when you're right, but you don't execute, you feel like you're going to get your identity hurt. And that's kind of like you're losing your masculinity in the charts because you're trying to prove a point, right? And sometimes the people that feel like they're always right, sort of like the perfectionists, they fear that there might be a punishment coming to them, which is not there. It's just happened to them when they're younger. And that kind of followed them through life. And then it ends up coming up in the charts. FOMO is strongest when several of these hit at the same time. And that's true. So imagine you put all these and you put them together. You're just going to feel a lot of emotions at once. This is like you're going through a lot at one time. So, and this is the thing, how do you break the chain? Is understanding it has a trigger. Everything has a trigger, right? Before you get into a fight, there's a trigger. Before something happens, there's a trigger. Before your emotional state changing, there is a trigger, right? So usually it's fast markets. So the fast market creates artificial urgency. The question changed from is this valid to can I get in? So now are you going off of your plan, your protocol, your model, your risk parameter, your steps to am I just getting in this because I just have to get in? After a loss, the next setup becomes a rescue mission. You stop looking for the opportunity and start looking for the recovery. So the thing is, when you take a stop, your stop loss guy hit, you didn't in reality get a time to journal. You didn't even get time to reflect what happened. And you're already going into the next battle, right? And the thing is, this is the thing. The human mind can make 1 to 2 executive decisions per day. Now, the thing is, you took a loss and you're already taking the loss. You're going to be emotional. Now, you're going into a battle with a mind that's already beaten. What do you expect? It's going to be another loss. Other people's P&L, somebody else won that trade. Maybe they're trading a different strategy. Usually, it's the dick and ball traders. They are usually with those kind of people. Comparison changes your execution without changing the charts. So then compare and contrast. The thief of joy is what? Compare and contrast. You try to match that guy's number. You match his number. You're trying to increase because he increased. This and that. Your job. Identify which trigger changes your behavior the fastest. That is important. Ask these before you chase. Did the setup improve or did your discomfort increase? If nothing changed technically, but your urge exploded emotionally, you are possibly reacting to movement, not your model. So, what I mean by this is if the technicals didn't show you an opportunity for you to enter, are you following that or are you following your emotions? And that's the two things you have to understand. What are you following? Are you following the sense of urgency, of fear, of lack of missing out, loss of vision, P&L comparisons, identity, ego? Or are you coming in this chart and you're looking for step 1, 2, and 3? Because what happens is we get maybe the manipulation, but you don't get the entry trigger. Now, the entry trigger does not present itself, but your emotions are sky high. Now, which one do you follow? Do you follow the entry trigger protocol? Because if inception occurred, there's got to be 2 more steps, and step 2 hasn't occurred. Are you going to go based off step 2, or are you going to go based off of your emotions? Because your emotions saying, just get in, get in. We're going to pass the account, get that payout, get that money, blah, 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 blah. The thing is, when you start listening to that voice, the more you listen to it, the more power you give it to it. But the only thing you could do at that time is just walk away. Turn off the computer and walk away. To win every battle in life, you walk away, right? Walking away, clearing your mind, coming back to it with a clear head. The FOMO fix, and here we are. Create space before action. Name it. Well, I'm experiencing FOMO. Once you say it and you hear it, your brain is going to register. Now, the thing is, what you do is these hands will cause you the same harm. So what do? Put your hands away. Put them off the mouse. Take a break for 60 seconds, 1 more minute, see what happens. Because usually that 1 minute and you're working on your breath work will give you a bit more clarity because you're creating that space from your urgency. Now we detected that and identified the urgency. We named it. We are hands off. We're checking to check for entry criteria. And that's step 3 to check. And number 4, accept, right? Acceptance is very important. Acceptance is when your vibration goes from the below 50 to the top 60 to 80 range. Accept, be willing to miss the move. Guess what? I missed this move, but guess what? This was not even part of my plan. I'll come back tomorrow and do the same thing again. See, FOMO thrives on speed. Discipline creates space, right? Space is what you need. from you and your emotion and the charts and also the mouse. Very important. The questions you need to ask yourself. So these are the 3 important questions to ask before you do any chasing. What changed technically? Did confirmation, displacement, liquidity, invalidation, or actually improve? What changed emotionally? Did anxiety, regret, excitement, or the need to make money suddenly increase? Would I take would I take it if price were moving slow? If speed is the main reason the entry looks attractive, you might be reacting to the movement. A clear answer, no, trade. So the 3 questions you ask yourself before chasing is there entry criteria? Is there anything part of your plan in there? If there isn't, then it's a no. What changed emotionally? Are you feeling anxiety, regret, excitement to make money increase? If that's the case, then the clear answer is still no. Would I take it if price were to slow down? If speed is the reason you're looking to enter and it looks attractive, you may be reacting to the movement. So sometimes we're just reacting to the moment. And this is a bit of a homework you guys can work on. And this is kind of the last part. But what happened right before it? So this is kind of like an audit, right? So usually to improve something and to know and collect data about yourself, because it's all about data collection. Trading is pretty much self-mastery at its finest. The trigger. So what you do is you write the response to all of these things, and it takes a little bit of work, right? You can't just show up to the charts. There's a lot of groundwork that needs to happen before anything else. So the trigger is what happened right before it. So did you have sweaty palms? Were you shaking? Were you thinking about the money? What was happening? Did your arms just go right to the mouse? Did you whatever, right? What did you tell yourself, your thoughts? Oh my God, pass that eval. Oh my God, make that payout, big payout, money, da, 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 da. What feelings show up? Emotions. Were you excited? Were you anxious? Were you, I guess, confused? Sometimes that happens when there's so much things happening. Rule. What did change or break? Your rules, right? Did your protocol, what part of a protocol are you following? What part of it are you breaking? And then replacement. What will you do next time? What could be better? Walking away, understanding, naming it, accepting it, knowing it that that's not part of protocol, and then having a plan to remove yourself from it. A disciplined trader can feel FOMO without obeying it. That's the same thing. Remember, we have email or a call. This guy will say, "Hey, guess what? You're a lucky winner for a lottery." Let's just say this is the call or a business opportunity. Well, you think to yourself, well, this call does not seem right or important. And what do? You could just end the call and that's it. Your problems are done with. You're not going to fall for that trap. And the final question to finish all this up is what you are really afraid of missing. What are you actually really afraid of missing? Because you're not really missing anything. Just maybe some emotional things and stuff, but that's it. Hopefully, you guys have a beautiful week ahead. If this video resonated with you and you like this format, please comment down below, and I would love to make more videos like this. And subscribe for more. And I'll definitely see you in the next one. Remember, if FOMO shows up, we're not designed to control it, but we learn to understand it, name it, and learn to manage it. And that's it. Take care for now. Have a beautiful